Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is KateSemeniuk. I'm an RTT hypnotherapist. And today we are talking about 5 phrases that you should never say to yourself, or substitute them, change them for something else, and you will be able to change your life in less than 3 weeks. I promise you. So why words have such a big effect on our life? A lot of people say, oh, it's just words, right? No, when we are born, we start to hear words, and first we don't attach meaning to them. However, the more we hear that word, the more meaning we attach based on the intonation of your caregiver or based on the experience that you are going through at that moment when you hear that word. So every word starts to have a meaning, but not only the meaning, but it also starts to have metaphor, association, color, shape, feeling, and emotion. And then when we hear those words, that's what's triggered. Thoughts, emotions, feelings, association, metaphors, and it all creates a whole experience around words. So words are not just words. They have a huge impact on our life. And our subconscious mind attaches the meaning to the word, and it will be different for everyone. That's why when you hear word love, it will be completely different for your, for example, for one person, and it will mean completely different thing for another person. For example, a person who had a relatively calm, relaxed, and happy childhood, feeling loved and feeling appreciated. A word love will mean softness, warmth, kindness, compassion, passion, and all of the amazing associations. However, the person who didn't feel loved, love can feel something that is limited, that is not available to them, like sadness. It will trigger sadness and even depression. And for many people, love can even trigger resentment, anger, frustration, so that people like, I will never even fall in love ever again, right? Because they have previous experience and they connected some emotions to the words. So this is why it's so important to change your self-talk, because when we hear the word, why words have this impact on our life and how do we react to words? When someone tells us something, for many times, which happens in our childhood, and we are very sensitive, we are very suggestible when we are kids, then we start to say those words to ourselves. And saying words to ourselves, if it's some like a negative self-talk, for example, it's the biggest confirmation of your beliefs. So if you have the belief, for example, that I'm not worthy, if you start to say on top of that belief, if you start to say yourself different negative words like, of course it happens to me, I don't deserve anything, of course this is all because of me, this is all my fault, I'm stupid. All of those words will confirm that belief. Can you imagine if you have the belief about, like a limiting belief about money? What words will you say to yourself when you have a belief about, a limiting belief about money, like a money block? You will say, it's never enough. I can't afford it. It's too expensive. Why I don't have enough? So all of these words will confirm that belief until it's so strong that it drives your life. And many people say that, oh, things happen accidentally. Nothing in this world is accidental. Everything has a cause. Everything. So all of our experiences are affected by our actions and by actions of other people. This is why it's so important to understand that we are all very connected, which means that if someone takes some actions, it can affect us as well, right? I'll teach you 5 phrases that you can say to yourself that will shift other limiting beliefs or other negative self-talk that you might be saying to yourself. And that triggers a lot of different negative and even painful experiences in your life. So one of the first phrase is, why is this happening to me? So this phrase is the phrase of helplessness and hopelessness, right? We are confused. We are in doubt. So then we start to doubt ourselves. We start to be confused. So when you ask yourself, why is this happening to me? Which means that you want to put responsibility on someone else. It is not your fault, right? We were born to have all our needs met. So we get used to that, right? That someone needs our need. And then we very often don't learn how to be responsible to meet our own needs. So you can switch that phrase. So the phrase that will give you more power, more control over your actions. You can switch it to another question that reinforces responsibility. For example, what can I do to resolve this problem? Because usually when we ask ourselves, why is this happening to me? Something happened, something negative or emotional, some, maybe traumatic experience or some reinforcements of negative beliefs that we have. So when that happens, we want to take off the responsibility from us. We want to find the answer somewhere else, but not inwards. And the most important part is to find the answer within, because all the answers are within you. In my course, by the way, You Are the Therapy, the intensive 3-week course, I usually teach people how to take responsibility for their actions, how to find the answers within themselves so they know that they don't depend on anyone. Their happiness doesn't depend on anyone, that they can be in control of their mind and they create their own life. Another phrase is, I cannot afford it, right? So I can't afford it, right? This phrase of hopelessness, this phrase of, it's never enough. And I don't think it will ever be enough. And I don't know the reason and I don't know the way out. Switch it to the phrase like, I choose not to invest in this now. Even if it feels weird, it sounds weird to you maybe for the first time, but every time you look at the price tag, you go to the store and you, for example, you don't have money right now for that, but you really want it. It's your desire. You say, I choose not to invest in this. I choose not to invest in this. And actually, if you want to actually change your financial situation completely, start to say invest, not buy. So for example, I just bought myself a cheeseburger. You can't say I invested in cheeseburger because it's not an investment for sure, right? It doesn't help you. But if you say that, you'll start to make better choices, healthy choices. So when you go to the store and especially for people who want to, step on a healthy lifestyle, they want to, stick to their healthy diet, you can start saying, I invest in these fruits. I invest in these vegetables or these healthy snacks. And then everything will change, because when you look at the, junk food, you don't invest in that. That definitely doesn't bring you anything more, but actually takes away the energy from you and takes away even, years of life. Another phrase that you can say we sometimes say to ourselves that really, really harms us and doesn't benefit us is, I knew I would mess up. I knew I would mess up. So it's the self-blame, self-guilt, right? Like self-punishment, the phrase of self-punishment. And then it recreates those beliefs that, I can't do things right? It's never good for me to do that. Whatever it is, it's definitely not the things that you want for yourself. And you can change that too. It's silly. It has been silly of me to do that, right? But it creates a softer meaning to the word. And Marisa Peer usually taught us that change stupid for silly, right? Or change mistake for experience. So you will tell it's an experience. If you say I knew I would mess up, this was such an amazing experience and I learned so much from it. So start writing that down, even note it, right? Because it will help you so much. Another phrase is, I wish it could be better. I wish I had it. I wish, this will happen. I wish I could be. I wish I had it. So wishy-washy, right? This definitely one of the most destructive things, because it's like wishing never leads to action, right? Never leads to action. Maybe for some, yes, people say, I wish I had it, but it's like regret, right? Regret, so you don't appreciate what you have now. So this is what's happening. When we are grateful for what we have now, And we'd always say, I wish I had that. I'm grateful for what I have now, and I'm learning, giving a lot of value into this world so that I can receive more. The universe never gives to those who are not grateful. You're grateful for what you have now, and then the universe is like, okay, they can appreciate what they have. I can give them more, right? So that helps a lot. So whenever you say, I wish I could be, I am grateful for what I have now. I'm grateful, and I have a plan to have something more. But I have to do this and this and this. I have a plan how to achieve something, for example. And then the universe will meet you in the middle. So it will be even easier for you. Another phrase, and this is the phrase that was my favorite phrase since I remember myself, is I hate it. Hate is a very strong word. And hate creates a tension, like this resentment in your body, like the tension in your muscles. I hate it is a very, very strong word. So if you say, I hate it, you will never become, well, maybe one day, I will never say never, right? But you won't become indifferent. So usually what you want is to become indifferent to something. So if you say, I hate that person, or I hate what he did, you better say, I resent what he did. Or if you don't like something, like type of food, oh, I hate avocados, or I hate vegetables. And kids a lot of times say that, I hate vegetables, right? I hate anything healthy, some kids. Then you switch it to, I'm not a fan of it. I am not a fan of it. So it's a softer phrase. So it decompresses this intense feelings. It kind of softens it, warms it up, right? So it's not creating that many images in your mind. Your mind doesn't understand the difference between created image and the real thing that is happening. It doesn't. So it reacts the same. So if you say, I hate it, you create so many negative tension in your body. So I hope this will help you. Do that and I will suggest practice it for about 3 weeks, every day. Or if you couldn't, for example, if you didn't have time, right, to really be aware of the phrase that you say to yourself, maybe at the end of the day, you can journal or you can write down in your phone. I love to take notes on my phone. I don't journal a lot, by the way, but I do take notes on my phone. Something that really interests me, or some, ideas for content, and sometimes even like my own thoughts. So you can do that. You can sit on your phone when you go home, or you have this couple of minutes by yourself. You can note, when did you say some negative self-talk to yourself, and switch it to something positive, and you'll see a huge difference. Your mind needs about 21 days to 1 month to start reprogramming, to start, making those neural pathways between your reactions and behaviors getting weaker. You cannot break them completely, but you can make them weaker. And then in that way, you can start changing your life. You'll see that the events will shift. If you say, oh, everything is negative is happening in my life, once you start say positive things to yourself, then positive things will happen, because we are what we believe in. I wish you all the best. I'm so happy you decided to watch this video till the end. I love you all. Be healthy emotionally and physically. And if you have any comments, please comment below. Tell me, what other self-talk, what other negative talk do you say to yourself that really harms you and really brings some negative events in your life? I'll be happy to switch it. So write down your negative self-talk, and I will help you transform it and reframe it into something positive, something that will reinforce growth and evolution for you. I love you all. Bye.